game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression. We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
And welcome to Owen Beg for a very, very special occasion. It's Antrim against Down, but you have to be neutral. So I'm from Tyrone and Gráinne McGoldrick is from Derry. So you're local, so you're neutral, but really, really looking forward to a fabulous game here between these two teams in the Littlewoods National League Division 2 final. It's fantastic to have two Ulster teams in the final and lots of interesting stuff going on here, and one of them is at Gráinne, for example. It's amazing looking at a Down team that doesn't have Fionnuala Carr in it.
Yeah.
And you were at college with Fionnuala and Catherine, who's out there as well, and
Yeah.
there's experience out there and youth as well, but you know a lot of these players.
Yeah. No, Catherine McGordy standing in goals there is the perfect person to lead the defence and lead the Down team and keep them all right. Fionnuala definitely has left a hole behind, but there are an awful lot of experienced players on that Down team that will fill her boots, and I'm sure Down are very confident coming into the game today.
And when you look back, way back into the 1990s when these two teams last played in this final, there's a really, really interesting connection you were telling me about.
Yeah, back in 1997 these two teams met each other in the National League final, and I think at the time Down were riding on the crest of a wave and they were winning an awful lot in Ulster and Ireland, and Antrim were the underdogs and beat them by surprise, I think. But on that day the centre half forward was Grace McMullen, and Grace's niece is actually playing centre half forward today for Antrim, and Anna, who's the centre half forward, her mum was in defence, and also Maeve Kelly, who we all know is a star and will hopefully put in a great performance today. Her mum was on the sub bench, and I'm sure there are probably other connections that we're not aware of, but there are some common links there.
Could there be an omen maybe in the way that game went?
Well, I would say potentially Antrim will be hoping and hoping that that will set the scene for today for them, and also
Antrim team coming up against an
underdogs.
Down team.
Yeah, similar situations and circumstances back in 1970s or 1997, so maybe it'll be history repeating itself.
And looking out there now, Gráinne, we're up in the stand and it's a bit cool up here in the back of the stand, but we've been down on the pitch and the conditions are perfect. The sun has been out most of the day. It's absolutely beautiful out there. You know this pitch very well, and it's playing extremely well. What sort of way do you think the game will go? There is a bit of a breeze.
Yeah, there's a bit of a breeze as we're looking at it from right to left, but the surface looks perfect for hurling. As I said,
if we get a shot of the flags, actually, the flags are way down to the right there, and you can see that they are fluttering quite violently down there. So there definitely is a breeze, but I've no idea what way it's going.
No, and sometimes what you find in this pitch is the breeze swirls a bit, which makes it quite difficult for free takers. But it's a nice wide pitch, which forwards will love. Defenders might not like that so much.
The manager says that'll suit his team.
Oh, perfect. Well, I would say Antrim forwards might be thinking it'll sit them too. You know, pacey forwards like having space to run into. Defenders like it being cramped so that there's no space for the forwards. So both teams, I'm sure, will take positives from the setting today.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll hear from both managers now. I grabbed the word just about 10 minutes or so ago with the two managers. That's Derek Dunn, who's a Laois man, and he's the manager of Down, and Paul Humpy McKillen, who's the manager of Antrim. Derek Dunn, Down manager, any late news now that you've arrived at the game, or are you playing as selected?
We're playing as selected today, yeah, no changes. Coming off obviously a big performance last week, we want to continue with it this week. Obviously, just this week was just getting the girls back after a heavy week, and we had a soft enough week, but we're focused and ready for today. Yeah.
You're an experienced team now. I know you have a couple of cracking young players there, but you're mainly experienced. You're playing an Antrim team on the up. How worried are you that this Antrim team is after down?
Sure, God, like they have to be. And I think I said it earlier on in the year, even before the final last year, and I spoke about them before the start of the league. They're a good team. They were very conditioned. They were strong. They were well-deserved winners the last day. And do you know what? And I was actually delighted to see them come through that division too. And all the talk about Northern teams and Ulster teams, and the second teams from the big Corks and Kilkennys and all these not in the championship last year. It was great to see the two teams pushing out through it. Like, I actually never look forward to playing them, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But look, it's going to be a good game, and hopefully it's a good spectacle today for everyone.
Absolutely. Pitch looks fantastic. I don't know if you've been here much before, but it looks great. The setting's fantastic. No excuses.
No, definitely not. I was up here twice before, actually. We drew twice with Derry, but when the fixture came out, I like the pitch. It's good and wide. It'll suit our play. We like to move the ball down the channels, and it will suit us today, hopefully anyway. So that's the plan.
Paul McKillen, any late news with Antrim, or are you as selected?
I selected as because we're down Chloe and Maeve Connolly's out with injuries, so we're just more or less the same team as last week.
And what's the Antrim feeling going into this game with your old rivals?
The feeling's good. We've been out now 5 weeks in a row, and as I say, the girls have come on leaps and bounds from the first week we've come out, and matches yourself brings the team on.
Yeah, and they have come on a lot, but still a very young team against a mainly experienced down team.
Young side, but they've all won things in their day. They've won championships, most of them, and underage championships, and a few All-Ireland medals in there as well, with schools and colleges and that there. So, as I say, they're coming into the game quite confident.
So could this be the day that they come of age and beat Antrim in a big final?
Beat down.
Beat down even?
Well, hopefully we beat down. We're not Antrim. But as I say, look, it is what it is. We will go out and do our damnedest to get over the line here today.
That's the two managers' views, and we're back live now for the game. The captain's out in the middle of the pitch there. You see them just breaking away from the referee. That's Lucia McNaughton, the captain of Antrim, and Sarah Louise Graffin, formerly known as Sarah Louise Carr, and she's out there. So there is a car out there, not Vanilla Carr, but Sarah Louise is out there for the game, and we hope that you are enjoying the coverage and watching from places like Clonduff and Ballycastle and all over the country and even beyond as well for this keenly interesting game. And as I say, it's the Littlewoods National League Division 2 final, and great to see two Ulster teams in it as well. I'm going to read out the teams now because we're about 5 minutes away from the start. They're unchanged, as the two managers said there, but I'll give you them now. Antrim in goals, Katrina Graham, who's come in this year. She's displaced Emer Boyle, who's in the subs. Katie McKillop at number 2. Kiva Conlon at 3. Now she's had to come in for her clubmate Chloe Drain, who got a broken jaw 3 or 4 weeks ago, so she's in there. Maria Lynn is number 4. Colleen Patterson is 5. Niamh Donnelly 6. Leisha McKenna 7. Lucia McNaughton, the captain, 8. Amy Boyle 9. Maeve Kelly 10. Anna Connolly 11. Nicole O'Neill 12. Roisin McCormick 13. Kira Laverty 14. And Dobbin 15. And I hope you can still hear me. The PA here is very loud. I said Katrine Dobbin is number 15.
You're also welcome here today to the Division 2.
I'll just pause for a second there. I think I'm not sure I can hear myself.
No changes to the programme. London team will line out as follows. Number 1, Katrina Graham. Number 2, Katie McKillop. Number 3, Kiva Conlon. 4, Maria Lynn. 5, Colleen Patterson. 6, Niamh Donnelly. 7, Louise McKenna. 8, Lucia McNaughton. 9, Amy Boyle. 10, Maeve Kelly. 11, Anna Connolly. 12, Nicole O'Neill. 13, Roisin McCormick. 14, Kira Laverty. 15, Katrine Dobbin. 16, Emer Boyle. 17, Emma Laverty. 18, Christine Laverty. 19, Claire McKillop. 20, Roisin Kelly. 21, Niamh Donnelly. 22, Catherine McShane. 23, Maeve O'Neill. 24, Shauna Devlin. 25, Maeve Conley. 26, Chloe Drain. 27, Becky Ellis. 28, Kira Dobbin. And 29, Otter O'Hara.
If I'd have known he was going to do that, I
The
would have
Lions
ordered.
line out as follows. Number 1, Catherine Gordy. Number 2, Erin Lafferty. Number 3, Derby McGee. Number 4, Katrina Caldwell. 5 Bethany Fitzpatrick, 6 Karen Mullen, 7 Derby Savage, 8 Paul Hagan, 9 Ethan Keown, 10 Eamon McAlean, 11 Sarah Louise Graffin, 12 Shorty McCartan, 13 Lauren Clark, 14 Eve Mann, 15 Anne Rogan, 16 Maria Manali, 17 Alana Savage, 18 Cassie Fitzpatrick, 19 Catherine Rocks, 20 Tara Cowan, 21 Daniel Harrison, 22 Isabella O'Hare, 23 Ray Smith, and 24 Saoirse Sands.
Right.
Our referee for today is Brian Neal from Westmeath.
Okay, back with us now. Great crowd in for the game. Now we know that there's 500 tickets. I would say, looking at that crowd, Grania, not far off that. You know, even though a lot of the supporters have had to travel quite a distance there's quite a good crowd in, and it's great to see them.
It's great to see, yeah, and it's an eagerly awaited game. Two teams are fighting the bit out here and want to get up to Division 1, so it's a big prize. So hopefully the support here today will be loud for the two teams as well.
Tactically, what do you think? How do you think this game will be played? I mean, the last day, for example, Antrim had Ciara Laverty at 14, but she played as a sweeper. She was in the defence a lot of the time. In fact, she was involved in conceding the penalty before half-time for me, so she doesn't play there, but maybe today might be different, we don't know.
Well, I think against the wind there, what you might find is both teams might play with a sweeper, depending on the strength of the wind. I mean, we can't be sure just how strong it is out there, but you might find both teams play with a sweeper against the wind. Other than that, I mean, Antrim really need to keep a close eye on Eve Mallon. They need to watch Sarah Louise Carr, so it'll be interesting to see the matchups, how they're going to defend against those girls, and then equally the Antrim team have some superstar forwards that Down are really going to have to look out for, so I'm interested to see the matchups here.
Well, who do you see moving around, or do you think they'll stick to their positions and see how it goes, or do you see anybody moving? For example, Kiva Conlon at full-back for Antrim has come in, and as I said, she's done really well, but she's up against Niamh Mallon there, and we know what Niamh can do.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to bring your A game there to mark Niamh Mallon to try and keep her scoreless. In the game last week, I know that Katrina Caldwell marked Katrina Park. Now, Katrina Park is a standout player. She's an All-Ireland senior medal winner, and apart from the first 5 or 10 minutes, she really got a good grip on her, so you might maybe find that they sacrifice her, put her on to Niamh Mallon to try and curtail her impact in the game.
Antrim last week against Meath in the first half, they actually didn't let Meath score from play in the entire half.
Yeah.
And they scored 7 points, 6 of them from play. Perfect first half until they conceded the penalty right at the end, but that's what they're capable of. But the big question, I suppose, today is how they match up to Antrim's physicality.
Yeah.
You can answer that after that. Oh, I've missed that, Grania. The crowd, the anthem, the buzz at the end of it. Looking forward to a game, the sun shining, it's like championship. This is really a fantastic setting here at Owen Beg. Really looking forward to this.
Yeah, sun shining, great pitch, nice wide pitch, and two hopeful teams, so hopefully it's going to be a great game.
I was asking you about the physicality of Down against Antrim. You know, how's it going to match up, do you think?
I think Down are a very, very physical team. They have a lot of strength right throughout the pitch, but Antrim have a lot of nippy players and a lot of agile players, and you know, agile players are hard to stop no matter how strong you are. So hopefully Antrim will use their pace and speed, and this is going to be a great game.
Although we keep going on about Down's physicality and their strength, but they also have some fantastic young flyers of their own. Anna Rogan, Saoirse McCartan, you know, Lauren Clark, players like that as well.
Yeah, and they have really fast players in defence. I mean, Cara McMullen's a very, very nippy player as well, so they do have that combination of speed and strength and experience with a little bit of youth, so it's going to be a good game.
Well, Grania, I'm hoping that you're going to use your experience and keep an eye on the tactics for me and any changes in numbers as well. But looking out into the middle of the pitch as we get to the start of the game, there's 2 8s and 2 9s out there, so the teams are playing as selected from what we can see. And here is the start of the 2021 Littlewoods National League Division 2 final between 2 Ulster teams, Antrim and Down. And here we go with number 10 for Antrim, that's Maeve Kelly. Now she is an absolute flyer. She actually scored a point last week, and over the first 5 metres she was so fast, but she's dropped that one in short. And Catherine McGordy deals with that right away in the way that you would expect Catherine to deal with it, and gets it out efficiently to the right hand side, and that's Aoife Keown from Castlewellan. She's a dual player. They've a few of those on the Downs team, and there's a good effort. Is that Graffin, was it over there on the
yep, Sarah Louise.
A brilliant score right at the start for Down, and yes, Sarah Louise Graffin with that great start, Grania, for Down.
Yep, but if you look back there, it came from a ball that dropped short into the keeper's hands, and it was cleared well and moved on down the line, and it was a great finish.
Yeah, off her left side there, Sarah Louise with a fine score. So first blood to Down. The puck out from Graham into the middle of the field. What a catch! That was sensational from Colleen Patterson from Cushendall. And she seemed to be smaller than her marker, but she just plucked that one out of the sky, and off she went. And there is the promise that Down have, or that Antrim have rather, and there is the score that has come off it. And immediately we have the contrast between Sarah Louise at one end and the skill and pace and excitement of this young Antrim team.
Yep, that came from Anna Connolly. She just popped a pass outside to Nicole O'Neill, and it was a beautiful finish off the left side.
Antrim get it again, and it's the same Patterson, the same number 5, but she's blocked down as she tries to move the ball on, and this is already an intriguing contest, and the block is from Paula O'Hagan. Down to our left now, and it's Lauren Clark emerging with the ball, and she lays it off, and this could be the second score of the game, and it is, and it's Saoirse McCartan. She knows where the post is. She's from Castlewellan. She's the daughter of Greg McCartan, who won an All-Ireland Senior Football medal in 1994, which gives me a chance to remind everyone that it's Father's Day tomorrow. So McCartan with the second score for Antrim, or for Down rather, and they lead by 2 points to 1 at the start of this game. And it's a high tempo, high quality start, Grania.
And it's quite an open game as well. Lots of movement, and the forwards are getting into good positions to try and get the scores.
And there's a lovely cut there all the way from the sideline, and it goes all the way over the line at the other end, but that was dangerous, and Antrim just let that go, and it came to nothing in the end. But it's, I think you know what it is, Grania, it's the crowd. You hear the crowd gasping as well, and they bring so much to the occasion.
Yeah.
So I guess otherwise it seems like a training match, but you really feel a sense finally that we've got a really exciting game on here. But maybe it's just me being out seeing a crowd here in the game. Oh, brilliant block there. And that was by
Sarah Louise.
Carr, but I mean, I've seen Fanula Carr do that so many times, and Sarah Louise does it, of course, as well. But super block.
Fantastic block.
And that's the second we've seen in this, just right in front of us in the
Yeah.
last few minutes by Down.
Yep. So they're bringing an intensity to the game, and they actually hunt in packs as well when they play. So Antrim are going to have to bring an awful lot of speed to try and get the ball away quickly.
Yeah, because they've been blocked down twice already, but Niamh Donnelly now goes low. And that's picked up nicely by Maeve Kelly, and she immediately goes past her marker. She's such a fast player and plays it into the corner, and this is well taken by McCormick on her left side, and that's a sensational effort by Roisin McCormick from Lockdale, just 20 years old. She got it from Maeve Kelly, who was 20 years old just last month, and there is the talent in this Antrim team.
That was a phenomenal score off her left side, and that actually curled inside the right hand post.
Yeah, absolutely sensational. She's a fabulous, fabulous player. She got the goal, or a goal against Galway. No, the goal against Galway, the only one they got. And she scored the first point against Meath last week. Or sorry, that's Maeve Kelly I'm telling you about. Rushing is from Lockgiel, and she was one of the best players in the county final last year, and she's got such ability as well. But between the two of them, Kelly and McCormick, down that side, wow, they've got pace and they've got talent to burn as well. Really high quality start to this Division 2 final, and it's level. 2 points each in the 6th minute. Now that's sideline ball is put over the sideline again. I thought Antrim were going to get that, but they've spilled it. And of course, just to remind everybody, right at the start of the National League, back in May 15, the first game in the league, Antrim played down, and Antrim beat them by 113-13 in Portland. We can't read too much into that, of course, but that's what happened. And there's the banisher for down, Derek Dunn out, removing the flag there to give Saoirse McCartan a bit more room, and her cut goes into the middle of the Antrim defence. And number 2, Katie McKillop, tries to clear it, but she's going to need a bit of help from Kiva Conlon. Kiva off her left side, gets a bit of distance out into the middle of the field, and here's Anna Connolly now from Lochgiel, and she turns to go past her marker but needs a little bit of help, gets it from Nicole O'Neill, and the referee has spotted a foul and will bring it back there for a free. Nicole O'Neill, who takes a lot of the frees. In fact, last week she scored a sensational one from almost on the sideline against Meath, and she indeed is over there to take this. She's from Dunloy, but I don't know what way the wind's going, but might be a bit ambitious to get it from there, but I think she's one similar to it last week from the other side of the pitch, as I say, very near the sideline. That was going to drop short, and a few players go for it in there, and it's up for grabs, but it looks like Down coming out with it. No. Will it come to Maeve Kelly? It does. She goes past her marker, David Savage, but is blown up for overcarrying, doing a little bit too much there, Maeve. And it remains 2 points each. Just looking around the pitch, Groin, need to see any other changes? I see a sweeper back here for Antrim, actually, just in the D there.
Yeah, I can see the Antrim are playing with the sweeper, but so are Down. Karen McMullen seems to be free up in the Down defence, and number 2 is
number 14 back there for Antrim. It's Ciara Laverty, who's wearing 14 but playing almost in a full back position, but there's Sarah Louise Graffin, and I thought that was going to arrow over the bar, but it just goes to the left and right.
Yep, so you can see number 2, Erin Rafferty, has picked up Anna Connolly in centre half back, which is freeing up Karen McMullen. So there's sweepers in both teams.
You mentioned Erin Rafferty. I was reading about her childhood hero, in a little profile she did as Fionnuala Carr.
Sure, Fionnuala's
retired now, but she would have played obviously then with Fionnuala, of course, but that shows you the status of the Carrs.
Total.
And there's a free awarded for a foul on Anna Rogan. That's one of the young players I was telling you about from Castlewellan, and the referee is going to have a word with the Antrim player out there. Who's that out there getting a word?
Neve.
That's Neve Donnelly, actually, and the yellow card there for that challenge. And Paula O'Hagan, who takes the frees from Clonduff as well, is going to take it. And she scored 9 points last week against Wexford, 7 of them from frees. So she is pretty accurate, but will she have the distance? Here we saw a few minutes ago at the other end, Nicole O'Neill didn't have the distance, but that looks like definitely got the distance. Has it got the accuracy? No, it hasn't. Just to the left, but she can hit them, and maybe that's a sign of where the wind's going. Is it with Down in the first half?
I think it is with Down, and it might be swirling a little bit, which does make it more difficult for the free takers, but both Nicole and Paul are very, very accurate from free, so if it comes down to a shootout,
got a lot more power into hers, than Nicole. Maybe she just didn't strike at Nicole on that occasion, but we'll keep an eye on that. The ball's out into the middle of the pitch. It's up for grabs, and it's Amy Boyle who gets it. And Amy transfers it in towards the full forward area, and Maeve Kelly has nipped in there. And as I say, every time she gets the ball, she's fast. Surely she's not going to score from there. From an acute angle, the umpires aren't sure, but they are sure. Now they're going to give it. What a score by Maeve Kelly, 20 years old. Last month, she has talent to burn, and amazing to score from that angle. This is high quality, high intensity, superb Ulster hurling, I'm going to call it, because it's Down Antrim here, and it's great to see them in this National League final, and they are turning it on for the cameras, and they're showing the rest of the country the ability and progress that is being made here in Ulster, because that was absolutely superb. And you know, that would not be out of place in Croke Park or Thurles or any of the big stadiums from the likes of Kilkenny or Cork or Tipperary or Galway or whoever. Now, out in the middle of the pitch, Down emerged with it. I think that's Carr, and she plays it low into the full forward area. There's 2 Down players there. There's 3 Antrim, but it's Down who get it. And it's Lauren Clark who lays it off in there. I thought there was going to be a goal chance there, but it was spilled by Saoirse McCartan, but she's still going for her score and shoots also from narrow angle. But what about that score at the other end, Gráinne McGoldrick?
Unbelievable. Maeve showed a great bit of pace to get away, and she was actually being shadowed then by the sweeper as well. And some of the Down girls didn't look too happy there. I think they thought it was a wide ball, so I hope it doesn't come down to a points difference at the end.
I'm not sure if the camera is going to be able to show that exactly, but the umpires thought about it quite a while, there's no doubt about that. Brilliant catch there by Sarah Louise Graffin, and this is lovely play by Down at the other end, and they're going for a score. This could be the equaliser. Oh, she goes low. Definitely was going for a goal. It just went over and was helped on its way. Katrina Graham tapped that over from Saoirse McCartan, but I think Saoirse was going for a goal. Yeah,
it looked like it, but it was a lovely bit of interplay from Down, and that's what they're capable of. They run off each other's shoulders, and there's an awful lot of support for the player who has possession.
And that's even with Antrim having an extra player back there. They just cut through them. That'll be a worry for Antrim, because it's goals, of course, they can make such a difference. And in the All-Ireland Intermediate final last year, you know, Antrim conceded 4 goals to Down and 16 points. Now at the other end we might have a goal chance here, and still, and Catherine McGordy comes out to deal with it, gets a tap on it, but there's still danger. And it's going to be cleared by Dervla McGee at number 3 for Down. The ball is out into the middle of the pitch, but it is there to be won, and the challenges are flying in there, and there is so much commitment and effort down there. It really is championship pace. They're racing to the ball down in front of us. Oh, and Amy Boyle got there first. She was fouled, and she gets the free for Antrim, and that's an example of the intensity I'm talking about, and there's 100% effort out there.
110% effort. Nobody was pulling out of that. I would have run out of the way if I was the linesperson. But that's what this game is going to be about. Do or die, and everybody's going to bring that intensity.
Niamh Donnelly now for Ballycastle with the free for Antrim. And she doesn't seem to hit it too hard, but gets good distance in it. But she's obviously looking for somebody. She was looking for Katrine Dobbin. Katrine caught it brilliantly and put it on the stick and tapped it over for a fantastic score. Another one. These girls are putting on such a show here. Dobbin with a fabulous score to put Antrim back in front.
Yeah, off her stick as well. She knew she couldn't take it in her hand another time, so it was a brilliant score.
But Down didn't seem to even get anywhere near.
No, she jumped out and caught that without too much pressure on her, but still it doesn't take away from it. It was a super score.
At the other end, this looks like an equaliser. No, it's gone to the left. I mean, was it a case that the Down defence couldn't get to her, or was she just really fleet of foot and really skillful?
She's very skillful and very fast on the turn there, and left the Down defence behind her. But Down need to be careful here. If they've got the win, they need to be making the most of the scoring opportunities. They've hit a few wides now in the last few minutes.
Yeah, you're right that this end off to the left. Down have missed quite a few actually, and could well be in front, but they aren't. And it's interception there by Donnelly. I am going to clarify the score for you in a minute, because I might have been getting it wrong, so I'm looking over to my right and seeing the scoreboard on the ground is 2 points each. I had Antrim ahead.
Yep.
You have the Antrim ahead as well, because you had the one from McCormick, and you had the one from Dobbin, and you had one early on, so definitely I think Antrim of 3. Yeah, I think we have it Antrim 3-2, unless they wouldn't have gone back and disallowed one, did they?
Potentially, maybe they didn't allow Maeve Kelly's one from a tight angle.
I wonder if that was overruled, but we certainly thought it was a point, but we'll try and clarify that. But the scoreboard in the ground says that it's 2 points each, just to let you know.
She's been accused of charging there, number 2 coming out for Antrim, Katie McKillop. Sometimes referees will give that actually to the player coming out, but in this case it was given to Down.
Yeah, so a little bit of confusion about the scoreline, sorry about that, we will check it, but certainly in the ground on the scoreboard they have it 2 points each, so maybe they did disallow the one that we thought the umpire had given, maybe it was overruled, so maybe that's what happened, but we'll go with the 2-2 here in the ground and clarify it at half time. And there's another wide for Down.
Yep.
That's a concern for them, Grania, yeah?
A free coming from Paula there, yeah.
It wasn't an easy one though.
No, it wasn't. It was right out on this sideline. It was a difficult one to put over, but they do need to make the most of the chances. And interestingly, Niamh Mallon, we haven't really seen Niamh on the ball yet, so hopefully she'll come into the game more from a Down perspective.
Just to confuse things even more, the Antrim Camogie Twitter feed is saying that it's 4 points to 3 for Antrim. So we've 3 different score lines for you, which doesn't help you at all, but what can we do?
It doesn't help us. It doesn't help us either.
Yeah, well, we can't clarify it unless the only man really who can clarify it, I suppose, is the referee, and we'd have to wait to half time, or maybe in the water break. Maybe we'll try and get it from him during the water break, which shouldn't be too far away. But apologies for that. But like I say, the scoreboard here, the crowd is still saying 2-2. Antrim Twitter feed has said 4-3, and I thought it was 3-2. But it's close. It's certainly close, and Down have missed quite a few, but they've a chance here, and it's Paula O'Hagan to get her range back. Oh, she's missed again, and you know, the one she missed a few minutes ago over from here, I saw her looking a little bit frustrated, and that looked like the strike of someone who's their confidence has been dented a little bit. She's so disappointed, she was maybe a bit too anxious. Yeah,
and all it takes is just to miss one or two frees as a free taker, and then you really do doubt yourself going in to take frees.
Because that was an easier one, much easier one. So Paula there, unlucky. She's hitting one of those patches that you get sometimes in games. But here comes Saoirse McCartan now for Down with the red helmet over on the far side there. She's a super young player, and she plays football as well for her club Castlewellan, but that has come to nothing. But Down, even though they've had the wides, they do seem to be on top overall in the game and winning a lot of the exchanges in the last 5 or 6 minutes. And a lot of the play seems to be going from right to left rather than from left to right. And over on the very far side from us, the referee is taking advice from his linesperson, and that will be an Antrim ball. Interesting as well that I think we're going to the water break. Yeah, we are going to the water break, and we'll try and clarify the scoreline during the water break. But an interesting point there as well is that I noticed there's only 3 of the Down starting 15 are actually from the yards, and we always thought that, you know, most of the hurling and Camogie was from the yards, certainly more in the men, but maybe not so much in the Camogie. But you look at the players there, and from the likes of Leitrim, a lot, 4 from Clonduff in the starting 15.
We're having technical difficulties here with the scoreboard. The score at the minute is 4 to Antrim, 3 to Down. Hopefully we'll be able to run it again very soon.
That explains things. So the scoreboard was broken. It stopped. It got stuck. That's what happened. So it is 4-3 to Antrim. So we can update that now. Yeah, just to back up my point there, Lauren Clark from Onriocht, Anna Rogan, Castlewellan, you know, girls from all over the county, which is bodes well, of course, for Down Camogie. Whereas Antrim, it's very interesting. Their whole team seems to be from the north of the county, from the Glens, and they brought that team through for a number of years, and they're really gelling well. But getting back to the game, Gráinne McGoldrick, how do you see it going from here? I mean, it's so intriguing. Antrim are sneaking ahead, but Down seem to have more of the play.
Down seem to have had a lot more of the play, but again, that could be because there's the breeze out there that's going in Down's favour. Antrim are fighting hard. They're bringing a great level of intensity. There's lots of running going on. You know, Down really need to capitalise now in the next 15 minutes before half time. Otherwise, Antrim are going to be gaining in confidence and coming out in the second half knowing they have that slight breeze. So it's all to play for.
And the crowd applauding there, and one of the people there in the crowd is Damien Cassidy, former Derry player who played in that 1993 All-Ireland winning team, of course, when Derry won Sam, and he's an interested spectator here today, along with many, many others. Back with the play after the water break. We can confirm that it is 4-3 to Antrim, but they'll start again with Lucia McNaughton, the captain of Antrim, brother of James, who has come to national prominence with the great results of the Antrim hurlers in recent weeks. They're both from Lochgiel. She plays it into the middle of the field, but that's going to be picked up by, is that Graffin out there?
Yep.
Or is she coming now? Or is that McCartan actually with the red helmet? And another wide, and it is McCartan, and another wide, but it's all down, but not on the scoreboard. And Antrim goalkeeper Katrina Graham moves it quickly to Lucia McNaughton, and Antrim would be concerned that they're not getting the ball up as much, but they are doing that now, and the short puck out there seemed to do that, but Katrine Dobbin there was edged out of it well by, I think it was a cornerback, is that Caldwell over there? And now it's number 7, Leisha McKenna, who drives it into the full forward area, and it creates us a chance here for Antrim, 1 point ahead, and that's well blocked down. I think there's a broken stick there as well, and it's cleared in the end by Karen McMullen, and yeah, stick broken out in the middle of the field, so we need a replacement out there. And meanwhile, Antrim are going on another attack, and it's Lucia McNaughton again to McCormick, and McCormick in the green helmet there, and that familiar style of hers, and she's gone past Down players, that's familiar as well, but in the end it's cleared by Dervlin McGee, the full-back, and that's a brilliant clearance as well. And at the other end of the pitch, Malin tries to get into the game, as Gráinne was saying. She's not really good into it yet, and there's another example of that. And Antrim clear their lines, and that's super defending in there. And it's actually Ciara Laverty, named the full forward, who's back there getting it out as well. And these are the exchanges now where Antrim need to start winning again. And there's Amy Boyle with a lovely pick up as well, and she gets it to Kelly, and off Kelly goes, and she goes diagonally across the pitch. This is much better from Antrim. This is what we've seen from them earlier, and McCormick now goes to try and find Kelly, fires it into the corner. Kelly's had to check and go back, and the ball is held up for her. She plays it back out to Nicole O'Neill, but is she going to get it? She gets it at the second time of asking, and plays it off her left side and gives it to Dobbin, and Dobbin turns, and there's excitement in the crowd because they know what she can do. And Antrim's attack seemed to break down there, and it has broken down now, but the referee has spotted a trip, and in the end Lucia McNaughton has won a free for her team. But much better, Gráinne, for Antrim.
Yeah, Maeve Kelly did a lovely little flick out here around the middle of the field just to break the ball away from the scuffle that was going on, and there was a lovely wee bit of interplay between herself and Roisin McCormick. They do seem to seek each other out. They know each other's games so well despite being from different clubs, and yeah, it was a good free there for Antrim to win, and if it goes over,
and that's an easy point for Nicole O'Neill. So that's 5-3 to Antrim. Yeah, it was a lovely bit of play, and Amy Boyle was in, and she has a tremendous work rate around the middle of the field. She did the lovely pick up, but they moved so fast. As you say, they mightn't be for different clubs, but they have been playing together for years, and they know each other's game. And you know, no sooner was the pass made, and Maeve Kelly was gone. Now at the other end, this is Down trying to get back into it. They've only got 3 points on the board, but they must have 5 or 6 wides. So they will feel that they should certainly be level, but no room for a reason for panic at all from Down, because you know they've been here before and there's a long way to go, and they know exactly what they're doing. So they'll not be too worried about this, and Antrim will be glad to be ahead, but know that they have a lot of work to do as well. The shadow from the stand just imposing itself over the near side of the ground here. And you'll see some of the managers down there, Derek Dunn's there, and Paul McKillen's there, and Jim McKernan's there. And there's the ball played out into the sunny part of the pitch, and it's well picked up there by the corner forward Anna Rogan for Down, and she does really well there to win the ball and force a free.
yeah, a lovely bit of play from her to draw the foul. Free just from inside the 45 here from Paula. Paula's put these over last week or the week before against Wexford, no problem. So hopefully her confidence has picked up here and she'll get this over the bar.
Yeah, she scored 9 last week, 7 from frees, and today she must have missed 2, maybe 3 reasonably straightforward ones, or certainly for a player of her ability, and you'd imagine she'll get this. And she hits this one to the left again. Gráinne, I mean, you know yourself, maybe as a free taker, what's going through your mind?
You just doubt yourself, and what you want really is a free on the 21-yard line directly in front of goals that you can tap over to just build your confidence again. They might change the free taker.
That's what I was going to say. What do you do as a manager, you know? The puck out from Graham in the middle of the field, and although Down aren't on top of the scoreboard, they're winning a lot of the exchanges, but this time it's Maeve Kelly. What a game Maeve Kelly is having. That's brilliant. And she immediately transfers it into the heart of the Down defence. And Dobbin is there. No, actually, that's Anna Connolly is in there, but she is blocked down. And you know, you're watching it here, Gráinne, and you feel that Down have the power. They have more power out there, but they're not transferring it onto the scoreboard just yet. But that could change very, very quickly. We've had no goals so far, and not really a goal chance either. And that could be the telling thing here, because if you think about last year's All-Ireland Intermediate final, it was quite close, and then Niamh Mallon scored 2 goals in 4 minutes.
Yeah. We now have a change of the free taker, I think. It looks like Saoirse McCartan potentially is stepping up to take it.
Is that just because it's more on the left side? Maybe I'm being kind.
Potentially
to them,
could be.
Oh, she's got a great connection on it and has no hesitation in firing it over. Saoirse McCartan off her left side, and that is a score for Down, and they needed that.
Yep, they did, to settle themselves. But that was a great score, and she hit that with some oomph.
Yeah.
Nearly into the car park.
I know. She nearly hit it into Donegal. It was going that fast, and she had no hesitation, as I say. There was no hanging around. It was bang, no problem at all. Now, right down in front of us here, the players go for it, and it's number 10, Amy McAleenan, who gets there and wins it, and is put over the sideline, but has got the sideline ball, I think, or is it a free?
I think it's
maybe?
a free. Her stick was being held. I think the referee deemed it to be the Antrim girls holding her stick, so it's a free in, and Saoirse McCartan stepping over again to take it.
She is on her left side, right down in front of us here. That's a heck of a distance, but you know, the power that she got on the last one, you wouldn't necessarily say that she mightn't get it. Now, what can she do? Well, she's certainly given it plenty of welly, plenty of height, but it's not accurate. It's gone to the left, and that's wide as well, again from down. But good work by McAleenan there. She's in her 9th year. She made her debut when she was only 16, and that shows the experience. So Down in general are a few years ahead of Antrim, shall we say, in those terms as well. Now,
they are, but it doesn't seem to be phasing Antrim at all, which is great.
oh, what a catch. Is that McCartan again? She's having a smashing game for Down. I would pick out so far Maeve Kelly and Saoirse McCartan. Certainly two of the players are having a big impression on this game, Grania.
Yeah, definitely. Saoirse's putting herself around there, getting herself into scoring opportunities. She's taken a few scores. She's also caught a few balls out of the sky, and then equally Maeve Kelly at the other end is doing an awful lot of running and delivering the ball in, and has also taken her own cracking score as well.
Oh, is that number 8 over there, Lucia McNaughton? It is the Antrim captain, and McCartan again gets her stick to that, and there's another broken stick out there. That's a sign of the way this game has been. There's 2 broken sticks we've seen in the first 20 minutes or so in the game. Nobody holding back. Now here's Niamh Mallon. We haven't seen much from her so far, and she has put that one just to the left and right, and unlike Niamh, but we know at any moment she could explode.
Yeah, and you can see there the referee's pulled it back. He's I think he thinks the Antrim player fouled her, slapping on the elbow. I didn't see it, but it obviously happened, so it's a free in for Down.
And it looks like Niamh herself is going to take this one as well.
Yep.
So the first real contribution from Niamh Mallon, but as I said earlier, she scored 2 goals in 4 minutes in the All-Ireland Intermediate final last year, early in the second half, to turn the game. And she could easily do that again, and that's what Down are capable of. That's what Niamh Mallon is capable of. In fact, in the championship last year, she played 4 championship games and scored 4-14. That's what she can do. Is she going to get her first score off the game today on her left side? She doesn't miss, and that's a point for Down, and we have a level game now, and I would say that that's more reflective of the game we've had.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Down will be disappointed potentially going in here at half-time, because they have had a lot more opportunities, but they have composure and they've experience that they can call on in the second half going out against the wind.
And they're winning a lot of these breaks around the middle now as well, and there's Lauren Clark from Unreal reading this one, and Lauren on her right side throws it into Mallon, and Mallon gets it, and she has 2 players after her. Antrim very aware of the threat from her, so that's why they have 2 players in there. Ciara Laverty is back there as a sweeper, and Down forced to go wide, and that's Amy Boyle putting the pressure there on her fellow midfielder Paula O'Hagan, and Paula is forced to go back, and she plays it into the middle, but it's broken, and it's broken kindly for Antrim and Niamh Donnelly. But it's Down turning it over and waiting for it now is Anna Roden, but she's lost it. And it's all a little bit fast and furious out there, and the referee has seen an infringement, and that'll be a free for Antrim.
That's a super bit of pressure by the Antrim defence, just closing down every Down forward that was on the ball, and eventually coming out and winning a free. And you could hear the crowd picking up there when they won that free.
And here comes Donnelly now from Ballycastle, and she deliberately hits that low into space, looking for Dobbin. Dobbin from Lochgiel, and she isn't able to make any impression. The ball is cleared up into the other end of the field, intercepted by McCartan on her left side. Doesn't hesitate and fires it over her shoulder, but harmlessly wide. And it's just such an intriguing contest at the minute. You really don't know what way it's going to go. I still feel Grania the Down are slightly the better team at the minute, and should be slightly happier, and they still a bit more of a threat, but we'll find out what happens. Here comes Mallon. Oh, she's got a bit of space. She goes past 3 Antrim players. There's a goal on here. This could be a key moment, and she doesn't miss. Niamh Mallon, she's been quiet until that. We said she could explode. She's just done that. A little bit of magic from the girl from Portaferry. She got 2 goals in the All-Ireland Intermediate final last year against Antrim, and she's done them again.
she showed so much composure there with that finish, because you can't hand pass a goal anymore, which a lot of people would have done in the past.
So there's the first key moment of the game, and it's Down in front for the first time. 1-5, 2-5. Clinical, I think, is the word you would use, and as you say, she batted that one in absolutely perfectly, and that's a goal for Niamh Mallon. We're coming up to half-time, and it's a free for Antrim, and Nicole O'Neill is going to take this. This is similar to the one I was telling you about earlier. She scored against Meath last week in their semi-final. I think it was actually closer to the sideline. So let's see what she does. She has plenty of height. I fear that's going to the left, actually. Yeah, it's going to the left and wide, and now it's Antrim's turn to have a few wides. But Antrim haven't had that many wides, but they haven't been up that area that often.
No, because I don't feel like Catherine McGordy has had too many puck outs to take.
And here comes Catherine now, and she brilliantly picks out Karen McMullen, and Karen transfers it immediately. Down are starting to motor. They're starting to get a bit of momentum here, and they're beginning to get into their rhythm. Is that Mallon over there? Yeah, on her left side, drives it in, and there is Amy McAleenan trying to get on it, and Rogan's trying to get on it, but in the end it's Antrim. And at this stage, I'd imagine the Antrim management will be thinking, we need to get back in this game because we haven't really been in it. We've gone behind for the first time. They'll want to see a reaction, or maybe they'll just want to get to half time and get the players in, because psychologically the players are maybe, they're very young, and they might be thinking, well, Down are at us again, and we've done so well here, but they've still not played that well, but they're ahead of us. Now Nicole O'Neill on our left side, and drives that, and every time they seem from these frees to be looking for Dobbin to isolate her, and she gets out there, but she's been well marshalled by Caldwell, and Caldwell did brilliantly there for Down, the corner back, and she's from Castlewellan. Saw her score a great goal last year in a football match for Castlewellan against Bryansford in the forwards, but she's obviously been put in there for her speed to mark Dobbin in there, and she's doing a good job on her as well. Now Mallon in there again, trying to get the ball, but falls over, and it's going to be cleared, but not cleared emphatically, and it's going to be a chance for McCartan again. She turns, doesn't even look at the post, just all in one motion. That's brilliant from McCartan. She's been a standout player in this half, and she has put Down into a 4-point lead, and that's probably more reflective of the half. Yeah,
and not only was McCartan on the turn there, she was also falling as she struck that ball. That was a really impressive score.
So 1-6 to 5 points for Down as Graham fires it high into the middle of the field. The hands go up, the sticks go up. Maeve Kelly trying to get on, she can't get it up, and she leaves it behind instead, and she leaves it for a fellow midfielder, Lucia McNaughton, who drives it down towards Anna Connolly. But there's two Down players there, and Down really are on top at the minute on the scoreboard and in the play. Great hand there from Graffin, and she drives it into space, and there's two Down players going for this, and it's McCartan again, and she's way ahead of her marker. Would she go for goal? Yes, she goes. Oh, what a finish! Pick that one out. Searching McCartan. Oh, what a goal. There was absolutely no way the goalkeeper was going to get anywhere near that. She's been on fire today. So much power. And we'll say that's for Father's Day tomorrow for her dad, Greg McCartan.
That was a phenomenal finish, but it was a beautiful ball in by Sarah Louise into the space.
But no hesitation either, and that's 2 goals in a couple of minutes, and that's what we've been saying that Down can do. Can Antrim respond? At the other end, Amy Boyle lays it off, and McCormick is there. What can this young Antrim team do in response? Let's see. It's actually, it's McCormick again coming out for it, but there's Down players around them all the time. They've such intense work there. There's one dropping over the bar. I thought for a moment there it might drop in for a goal, but Antrim needed a response, and they've got it. It's 2-6 to 6, but those 2 goals between the teams are absolutely huge. The scorer was by Nicole O'Neill, and we're coming up to half-time. No, we're not. We're at half-time. There goes the half-time whistle. What a finish to the half by Down with 2 absolutely brilliant goals. And the interesting thing, Gráinne McGoldrick, for me was that both times, both players who got the goals, they obviously made up their minds early. They weren't thinking, you know what, we need to take a point here. They both went, I'm going for it.
They had the confidence to go for it themselves. They were super clinical. They showed a lot of composure, and they left the keeper with absolutely no chance whatsoever of making the save. two brilliant finishes, and it just shows how quickly the game can change.
Well, it is, I suppose, when you have a team like Down and when you have players like they have, because Malin could be quiet for 20 minutes and then do something like that, and they obviously have confidence in their own players around them and in themselves, and every player as well, because they've been there, done that. They've beaten this Antrim team before. They beat them last year in the All-Ireland final 4-16 to 2-10, and they know they can get goals. I mean, it wasn't just Malin. I mean, at the end of the game, Lauren Clark got a goal in that game. They know they can hurt Antrim, and I suppose it's up to Antrim now. You know, how can they respond?
Yeah, but I do think Antrim can go in now and settle themselves, and I do feel like they will be coming out in the second half all guns blazing, raring to go, because they have quality players in their team. They have very threatening forwards, and they will have whatever bit of wind there is now on their backs. So I feel like, I know they'll be disappointed with the 2 goals, conceding the 2 goals, but there's still an awful lot to play for here, and Antrim are still in the game.
Talking of Antrim, actually, I noticed an interesting quote from Fionnuala Carr where she said she was talking about Down and the way that they've come through and the way Antrim have come through. I think she was more talking actually about Down, obviously Fionnuala, and she was saying that we saw how hard Derry worked, your Derry team, in the last 10 years or so at senior level, and that kind of inspired them to go on and work even harder themselves to come up to senior level, and that's where they've come. So what I'm saying is Fionnuala's giving you the credit.
It's nothing to do with me. But do you know what? There's the reward at the end of this game for either team is Division 1 status, and that's where all teams want to be, playing against the best teams and the best players in Ireland. Down are already up there in the senior championship, and I know that they're eager to get up into Division 1 to play the league games at that standard. But Antrim, I know, are unbeaten this year in the league, and I don't think the game's over yet. I mean, they've some great players, and I do think they'll be eager to get up into Division 1 and to get that experience. So see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for Ulster either way, you know, no matter who wins today, because there's 2 Ulster teams in the final, and it's a national final, and it's a showcase for what Ulster Camogie can do, and it's a sign of the progress. And you can see that first half, I mean, I thought it was phenomenal. I was a bit worried before the game. Somebody said to me that the referee, he likes to blow his whistle a lot, but you know what, I think he's let the game flow, and the players have dictated that, and it's been a fabulous exhibition. There's just some brilliant scores and some great play and total commitment, and you know, you're looking at it and think that the future is bright.
Yeah, there's been super scores from both teams. There's been an awful lot of great interplay. I mean, even looking back to the first 5 minutes, there's been some great tackling as well. So the intensity and the tackling coming in from both teams is there. So yeah, I suppose the future's bright for Ulster.
Absolutely. Well, Grania, I'm going to give you a wee rest there for a minute, and we're going to bring in an Antrim man, although he knows both teams extremely well. I'm not sure anyone knows the teams better than this man, Seamus McAleenan.
I'm actually, can I correct you? I'm actually a Down man living in Antrim.
I knew it was you're in both. You know both very, very well anyway. But here,
okay.
That first half, we were just saying with Grania McGoldrick there, what an exhibition for Ulster Camogie. There was some fantastic play, and the intensity was amazing.
The intensity has been there, although Down have dominated that first half. I know that they had the breeze with them, but they'll be very, very disappointed with 11 wides, I make it. Some of them from frees, 4 or 5 from frees. That was very disappointing from a Down aspect. They only really got control of the game in the last 5 minutes or so with those 2 goals. Before that there, Antrim would have been very, very pleased with their performance, playing against a strong breeze. One of the big problems though is they're not winning a puck out, and that keeps the pressure on them. Now, Sorcha McCartan as well has been doing a lot of damage, particularly in the last 5 minutes, but earlier on as well, nobody seemed to go for that last ball there, and she ran onto it and right through, and there's only one thing in her mind, it was stop corner. I think Antrim was going to have to make a change in defence. I think I'm looking down here and I see Shauna Devlin warming up. Shauna Devlin is a natural defender, so I suspect that she's going to go in, maybe wing half back there for Sorcha McCartan. I'm not too sure what else Antrim can do at this point. They have the breeze in the second half. Down were prepared to put the ball in high, and from launch high ball in from the defence, because they had players who could win ball there. I'm not sure Antrim have ball winners in the air. They're looking to play the ball wide, trying you could see there for 2 or 3 frees that
They were
Katrina
playing them in
Dobbin.
low, Katrina in space.
Yeah.
But then Katrina Caldwell was in there and was seen to be nullifying that threat as well. And then they had a threat down the right early on in the half with McCormick and Kelly down the right here, but they seem to have nullified that as well.
Well, the problem is there's a sweeper back there, but Down are very, very cute with the use of their sweeper. Antrim also have a sweeper in there. The two of them were trying to mark Niamh Mallon. Niamh Mallon has now moved right out onto the wing, which has meant it's basically meant that Kiva Conlon has to go to the wing and commit herself to go to that wing. The sweeper is still unsure whether to go after her, stay, and if she's staying, she's getting caught with runners. So Down seem to be that wee bit more sure of themselves what they're doing with the sweeper. It seems to be Karen McMullen, I think, at the moment, and Ciara Laverty is the sweeper back here for Antrim, but she's not just as effective as she's not getting the clearances in. I think the main problem is winning the puckouts.
Yeah. Is it a tactical thing as much as a psychological thing for Antrim at this point? Because, you know, they lost the All-Ireland Intermediate final last year to them. They know that Down can hurt them, and even though Down weren't playing that well, they still hit them with 2 goals in a few minutes, and they know that they can do that, and all of a sudden they're 6 points behind. So it's a big, big challenge now, certainly, for Antrim in there. What can they do? As you say, you're not even sure what they can do apart from do better on the puckouts, but what can they actually do? Because they must be thinking, it's a very young team, and they're thinking, you know, this Down team are just too good.
It's more, I still think, and you can see it really in the play there, there's a physicality about Down as well. You know, even small players seem to be able to burst past. Antrim don't seem to have that same physicality, only in the likes of, say, Maeve Kelly there, that she can take a player on and go past her. But Down are pushing her further and further to the wing. There are not as many options, I suppose, in the Antrim on the Antrim bench either. You know, Down have been working during the league to find new players. They found Anna Rogan there, who's come in and corner forward. She has been in this game, but not as much as she was in the Wexford game. She's a ball winner as well. They found her from this league. Antrim have been trying to reach a final where they've been putting out their best team in every match. Down have been trying players in different positions and still getting to the final. So I think on balance, Down are better prepared for this final. Antrim have done well to reach the final, but and they have a big task ahead of them now in the second half, although they have the breeze.
Just talking about your point about the puckouts, you're talking obviously about both ends. What can Antrim do to win more of the puckouts? How do they put pressure on Catherine McGordy's puckouts? How do they have a better strategy from their own? Because it seems like Katrina Graham's puckouts, they're all big high ones into the middle of the field, so they're just 50-50, so they're not going short. Well,
that's the problem, is that the Down half forwards, when it comes to puck out, Down half forwards are going back into the middle of the field, crowding the midfield area. In those type of strategies, you're looking for the fullback or the sweeper to make themselves available for the short puck out. They're going for the long puck out because Katrina Graham has a long puck out, and they're trying to get distance from the goals. Second half it might work a wee bit better because there's breeze there, but it's the physicality and the catching power of Sarah Louise Carr. Even whenever they're batting the ball down, they're batting it down with force, and players are running onto that.
There was one early on, actually, Colleen Patterson caught a beauty as well, though, but that was a one-off. And I've noticed, as you say, that the Down players, when Katrina Graham is going to puck out, they come right out outside the D, almost outside the 45.
Yeah.
And they let her,
leave
you know,
plenty
you
of
go
space.
short if you like, and they're saying you're okay, but she's still going long every time.
Yeah.
So you're saying she should vary it, maybe?
She should have varied it, I think, probably against the breeze, certainly, where she had a sweeper and a full back. Niamh Mallon was kind of running to the wings to stop it going to the wings. There's a full back standing out straight in front of her. Probably could have taken a ball, but that's a high risk strategy as well, because if she doesn't get the ball first time, the player's in on top of her and you can block her down easily. She'll go with, you know, it's a good strategy, the long ball from puck out, because she has a good puck out, Katrina Graham. It's a good strategy in the second half with the wind, but it's a long way back now.
It is. Now the players back out on the field. Antrim, interestingly, went into the dressing room area, whereas Down stayed out in the pitch. Although I say it's interesting, but I don't know whether it means anything at all.
No.
But it probably doesn't. But we're nearly ready for the start of the second half. Seamus, it's been great to get your insight as a Down man, Antrim man, whatever, or both. Which side of the fence are you on today?
Well, I'm Antrim PRO, so I have to be wearing the saffron.
Brilliant. Seamus Magdalene in there. Thank you very, very much.
Shauna Devlin is on for
Absolutely right. He spotted and named the substitution that was going to happen, and it has been made. So Shauna Devlin, number 24 for Antrim, is in, and she is from the Lochgale club. Yet another one from the Lochgale club. They have 8 starting today and 6 in the subs, and she has come in, and she indeed is going to mark Saoirse McCartan, the danger woman in there, number 12. So they're starting to do something about the problem that we saw there coming to life at the end of the half, where Saoirse was firing over points and fired a brilliant goal. So Antrim doing something about that, but they need to get a couple of scores at the other end early on as we start the second half of this Littlewoods National League Division 2 final. And there is the number 24 in the play right away, and she lost it, but Lucia McNaughton has come in to help out and has fired it down into the left corner, and the race is on there, and it's been won by Roisin McCormick. She used a little bit of strength there to get it. She was under her right side, but she's just put that to the right, but she quite easily brushed Dervla McGee out of the way there, Grania.
She did, and Derv was very, very strong, which surprised me there. But what you can see out here is 24, Shauna Devlin. She is not giving Saoirse McCartan any room at all.
Instead, they don't go to Saoirse, they go to Sarah Louise Graffin, and she catches that brilliantly and fires it left and fires it to the right and wide.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but it was just great play. It was like they didn't go to Saoirse that time.
No.
But now Saoirse seems to be marked actually by Amy Boyler. Maybe that's just from the puck out here, but so we'll keep an eye on that. Shauna Devlin's actually free at the minute, but the ball is dropping down in front of us, and there is Saoirse, and there is Devlin, and Saoirse gets a stick to it and then tries to get a boot to it, and there's boots and sticks flying in there. Who is going to get it in there? It's an almighty struggle, and there's players falling over, and it's down, I think, who have got it, and that's Malin is it in there, and Malin has got it, and she has won a free, and that's great determined play, and down are no way are they going to be holding back here.
No, and Niamh has dropped out very, very far there to come and get that ball. She's come in from full forward and she's out in the halfway line. Saoirse now has an opportunity here. I would say she'll hit it into Malin. She'll not get the score from that distance, but we'll see.
Just over the halfway line. She gets plenty of height, and Grania is absolutely right. She drops it towards Malin, and Malin now on her left side. She's going for goal, but she doesn't connect at all. Usually when Niamh Malin gets in that position, it's like a bullet, but she didn't connect her.
Yeah, or else I don't know, was there a hook? But anyway, I can see as well here Antrim are doing something different on their puck outs. They're trying to win the puck outs now, so they're definitely dropping more players out.
And Graham again puts it really high into the sky, right into the middle of the field, and it's broken this time, and it's been picked up by Donnelly. That's Niamh Donnelly in there, and they go now to try and get ball in the full forward area with McCormick. That's so important, but great blocking there by Beth Fitzpatrick. And there's a great effort on the left side, and that's like an arrow over the bar. What a brilliant score. McCormick congratulates O'Neill after helping to create that score, and O'Neill fires it over, and that was a magic moment for Antrim, which could be getting them back into this game. And from the puck out, O'Neill is there again, and Boyle is there, and between them they should get it, and indeed they get to it first, but it's been intercepted, I think, by the fullback McGee, and indeed it has. The tempo has risen again here at the start of the second half, and Niamh Malin now does well and feeds it back to Graffin, and she immediately dispatches it over to the left corner of the attack, and it's been picked up by Lauren Clark. Down motoring again, crowd really getting into this game. This is an important time in the game because Antrim need to work their way back into it. It's down to 5 points, but Malin is going to increase that, I fancy, to 6 points again, and she does. 1 point each at the start of the second half. A very lively start to the second half. Now let's see what Graham does with the puck out. We were talking about the strategy, and there seems to be a chance there. It's almost like Downer inviting her to go short, and she's refusing to go short. Does go slightly over to the right, but there's lots of down players there, but it's won by Antrim and transferred quickly to the full forward line there, and that was from Anna Connolly. They go on the chase with Dobbin, but it's won by McGee in there. I think that is the fullback again, and she's got it out towards Aoife Keown.
Yep.
Aoife from Castlewellan, a dual player. Number 7 out there is Dervla Savage from Ballygalgat, doing well, and down clear their lines and get it into the Antrim half towards Malin. I think that is again over there. She's come out and is having a bigger impact on this game than she did in the first half, and that's a nice play by Down. It will be brought back for a free. And the pattern of the game early on, Grania?
Well, what you're seeing is the Antrim players are all pushing up, and there's a lot of and they're pushing up rightfully to try and get on the ball and win the puck outs, but they're leaving an awful lot of space in the forward line for Down. And when you leave space for Down, you're leaving space for the likes of Niamh Mallon and that to run at will at the Antrim players. So it's a risky strategy, but hopefully for Antrim's sake it'll pay off.
Now that's a nice cut into the middle of the field, and Nicole O'Neill is in there trying to get it, but isn't able to get it up into her hand quickly, and it's Down who come away with it through their number 5, Fitzpatrick again. The 2 11s collide. Colleen Patterson goes in there and it spills over the end line, and I still go back to Seamus McAleenan's point at half time about the puck outs, and Antrim don't seem to be varying them, and they don't seem to be winning them.
No, I think the physical height and stature of the Down girls is coming into play there. They're plucking the balls out of the sky, and it's quite difficult for the Antrim girls to contest.
And that's gone low and it's been spilled. Patterson is there again, but here come Antrim now. That's Maeve Kelly. I haven't seen too much of her after a blistering start to the game. Excuse me. O'Neill's there again on her left side, but that's well blocked. She's outnumbered back there, and it's Paula O'Hagan back there. A nice little bit of play from her. Goes onto her left side, shortens the stick and plays it out to Aoife Kill. That's good work by Patterson, the number 5 for Antrim in there, and the referee I think is going to give, is that a sideline ball possibly?
A sideline ball to Down, I think, yep.
So it's really in the melting pot, to use a cliche from sport. Down 2-7, Antrim 7, but you feel that Antrim need to get a goal, and they need to get back into this game to lift themselves as much as anything, because 6 points is a big gap, and it's Down who have got the goals. Now number 2 is Katie McKillop, and she's played that towards McCormick, and that seems to be one of the main tactics for Antrim, because she is so deadly in there, and she's done well again, and she's on her right hand side, and that's brilliant from McCormick. All her own work in there, and that does seem to be a tactic, Ronya.
Yeah, they seem to be hitting the ball out in front of her, and she's got some beautiful pickups in the last 5 minutes. And the thing is, they can keep ticking away with the points. They don't necessarily need a goal at this stage.
And so look at that for a puck out there from Catherine McGordy, and it hasn't quite worked out on that occasion, but it was accurate. It wasn't her fault. It could end up in a score. No, it's going to go to the left and wide, but Catherine McGordy, when she's taking her puck outs, she's looking around to say where can I go, and this time look, she goes this way. She's not doing a one puck out all the time, and that's a super puck out again, and that's the difference I think between the teams, is that from her puck out she gives her players a great chance of winning the ball. And
she goes for the quick puck out as well when the ball's gone wide, and she uses that to Down's advantage very well. Yeah.
But Katrina Graham, I mean, she's a very young player. I mean, she's displaced Emer Boyle this year in goals, and she actually plays outfield for her club, and she comes out and she sweeps a lot and she reads it very well, but maybe a little bit of work needs to be done on their puck out strategy in general.
I know. Do you know what? It takes an awful lot of confidence to go short on a puck out. You know, you have to be very clinical and very accurate with your pass. I wouldn't fancy it if I were standing goals, so it shows a difference there maybe in the confidence levels of the two keepers.
Oh, great cut there by Saoirse McCartan. It's going to go over the end line, but she's a very confident player, isn't she?
She is, and she's growing in confidence as this game is going on. I mean, Antrim have now got somebody out to mark her, so she knows that they need to stop her.
And there's another ball in the middle of the field from a puck out, won by Down. Now, it's ended up in a free for Antrim, but it's Down getting there first and winning those 50-50s in there, and that is the difference between the teams, and I think that's one of the reasons why Down are ahead. Obviously, the 2 goals, but the 2 goals come from winning those 50-50s, and Down have just had the edge in this game, and you feel that Antrim need a little bit of a lift just for their own confidence and their own spirit in this game and their own belief.
Well, if Nicole, it's definitely within her range now with this wind at her back.
Really?
If Nicole gets
Way
us over the bar, I potentially think so. If she gets us over the bar and there's 4 points in it.
All right. Oh my goodness, it certainly got the distance. Has it got? No, nearly got the distance. Plenty of height, but it still could be a score. And it's fired over the bar by Anna Connolly. So it ends well for Antrim, and they reduce the gap further. It is 2-7 to 9. Down may not be home and dry yet. Now from the break, Antrim win it this time. And they transfer it, but that's not a great ball. Now it's going to end up going towards McCormick, but it didn't look to have great conviction, that pass. It seemed to go to two Down players, but anyway. Antrim now winning a lot of the exchanges in the last few minutes or so, but that one is going straight to a Down player, and it's Keown, I think, and she catches easily and transfers it up into the forwards area, and there is Sarah Louise Graffin. Now there's two Antrim players after her. Conlon is after her, Maria Lynn as well, and Antrim coming away with it, and it's great play from Antrim in the last few minutes. Shauna Devlin's in there, Lucia McNaughton comes in to help, and this is what Antrim need. They're a young team, they're gutsy, they're determined. They were rocked back by 2 goals, but they are still very, very much in this game. McCartan tries to get a swing in it, and eventually a swing goes in, and that was a painful one, and I think it might be Keown in there who's taken a knock, and the referee is definitely given a free. You heard the whistle, and he is also going to show a card as well, and let's see what happens, and it's a yellow card for Maria Lynn. You saw that, Grania?
Yeah, she just pulled in the ball and caught Aoife on the leg. It's definitely a free, but there was quite a lot of hustling going on down there just in the last couple of minutes, and the Antrim girls nearly broke out with it quite a few times. The sweeper made a good interception, but unfortunately, you know, Down were relentless there in the tackle and just wouldn't let Antrim out.
Down change, number 21, Danielle Harrison.
Substitution on the Down team, number 21, Danielle Harrison, replacing number 2, Emily Rafferty.
So Down's first change of the game. And Saoirse McCartan takes the free, and it's still there. It could be danger still, but Donnelly gets a stick to it and tries to clear, and it ends up going over the line in the end, and ends up with a puck out for Graham. Remains 2-7 to 9. That's 13 to 9. 4 points in it. Graham goes long and high. McCartan's underneath it, gets a stick to it, but it breaks to Shauna Devlin. She reads it well, but isn't able to get the ball into the hand. So there's a stalemate there, and the referee will throw this one in, I would presume. He's asked for the ball, and there's a bit of a lull here at the minute, and you can tell that the crowd are willing the players on in this wholehearted game, and from a neutral point of view, maybe they'd like Antrim to get back into it. And there comes McCormick again. She is the danger woman up there, and she's having a fierce battle in there with Dervla McGee.
Yeah, Dervla.
McCormick is sort of having the edge, yeah.
Yeah, the Russians definitely got the edge at the minute, and Dervla was unlucky there. She actually managed to get in the way, but the ball just came off her foot and out over the sideline.
Right, McNaughton. Oh, it's a lovely cut, and it goes to, number 2, Katie McKillop, all the way up there. Actually, I had to look down to see who that was, and it was the cornerback all the way up there, but she wasn't able to do much with it in the end. The ball goes over the end line. It's going to be another Antrim ball, and it's got a bit cooler here in Owen Beg, and the breeze seems to be picking up as well, and it's in favour of Antrim. So they're 4 points down with the wind. It really is beautifully balanced. And if they could get something in the next few minutes, it would get even more interesting. Another lovely cut there from McNaughton. And that's played low in towards McCormick. That's who they're going for every time, but can she get it? McNaughton tries to help her. The Down players converge on her, and they come away with it. And look who it is. It's Niamh Mallon playing much deeper than she was in the first half. But it's Antrim with Amy Boyle there. Oh, and she just dodges in and out of the traffic there. It is blown, I think, for overcarrying, or maybe.
Yeah, I think she was blown for overcarrying, but I feel she was very hard done by there. You know, it looked like there were maybe a couple of wee tugs on her jersey, and certainly at the end there was a stick that was quite high up around her neck. Now moving the ball forward, so Antrim and Amy Boyle will definitely feel very hard done by there.
But lots of heart being shown by the Antrim team, but Down playing with a lot of composure. Not many scores in this half in the game, I have to say, so it hasn't been as explosive as the first half in those terms. It's a bit of a stalemate, really, to be honest. And the free this time demonstrated by the referee, and he's given it to Antrim. And yeah, would you say stalemate? Is that fair enough in the second half?
Yeah, we haven't had a score now in a wee while, have we? When was the last score? And we're probably approaching the water break at some stage soon.
Neve Donnelly for Antrim with the free, but down of extra players back there on McCormick, and they managed to spill it there, and the extra player going back was Paulo O'Hagan, and that's blocked down there well by McNaughton, the captain for Antrim, but there's a player down injured, and the referee immediately calls that one, and that's sensible refereeing there for the knock on McCormick. And down, obviously Grania very wary of the threat by McCormick now, because when the ball goes down to that side, they seem to have an extra player there to help out.
Yeah, they're using their sweeper to come across and try and curtail the impact that she's having on the game. Her touch is fantastic, and she's shown that, you know, she can score from all angles and distances, left side and right side. So yeah, they're doing right to try and stop her, because if she does get a few more scores, you know, there's only a goal or then 2 points in it, so this game is nowhere near over yet.
Absolutely not. 15 minutes to go, and it's still in the melting pot, and down 4 points up. And if you can just pay a tribute in this water break to Catherine McGordy, who's coming running over now, the goalkeeper for Down. What a performance by her, and what a career that she's had, and what a contribution she's made for Down, because I was reading that she was around for the 2001 All-Ireland Junior final win, and obviously she was very young then, but still she was around then, and we're now 20 years later. She's won 4 Soaring Stars, and I can see the smile on your face. You know her, you were at college with her. She won 4 Soaring Stars between 2009 and 2014, and she's won a few puck fattas along the way as well, and she saved the penalty against Wexford last week, and today she's having a big impact on the game.
Yeah, she's just an out-and-out leader, and she's so passionate about the sport and about the game, so she'll be trying to gear the girls up now to keep going, to see, you know, to get over the finish line and get up into Division 1, because I know it'll be a big dream of hers to be playing in Division 1.
Played a bit of shinty as well. She's a PE teacher at St Pat's Knock as well, and she has the passion for the game, and that must rub off on the young girls coming through as well. 100%.
And the thing is too, you know, Catherine hasn't always been in nets. You put Catherine in the full forward line or even in the half forward line, you're going to have a leader there, you're going to have a playmaker, and you're going to have a score taker, so she can play anywhere. But at the minute she's steadying the ship there in goals for Down, and she's as you said, an excellent shot stopper and a great pucker of a ball too.
And there you see the difference. I mean, Down have players like that, whereas Antrim have players like Roisin McCormick, and they're relying a lot on her, and she's good to see she's back on her feet, but she's only 20 years old, and there's a lot of pressure on her at the minute, because they're trying to sort of bring her into the game, and you know, it's young shoulders in there, lots of talent, but young shoulders, and Down seem to have the edge there, certainly, and experience, and players who've been there and done that and know what it takes. But going back to the play now, we've had the water break, and there's a lovely connection there from, I think it was Shauna Devlin in there, but it's Down who managed to win it and fire it straight back to where it came from. And Devlin is there, and Donnelly is there, and Donnelly will go onto her right side and drive that over to the other side, because they're not getting much profit down this side, but there always seems to be a Down player reading it and getting onto it. And there we have another example of that as well. That's Amy McAleenan. Going for that in the corner there are 2 of the smaller players on the pitch, and it's won by Maria Lynn there from, I think it was Anna Rogan, was it out there, or Lauren Clark, one of the 2. It's a long way from here over in that far corner, but it ends up going over the line on the far side. And Grania, we're saying that there's still a long way to go. This game's not over yet, but you feel that Antrim are going to need something in the next 5 minutes or so, and there's not many signs of it really happening.
No, but what I think it's important is for Antrim not to panic, to realise that there's still 15 minutes left on the clock, and 15 minutes is an awful long time in Camogie. Anything can happen. So as long as they can try and remain composed, if they keep ticking over the points, you know, the goals will come, as cliche as it sounds.
But at the other end, Down could do something about that. Oh, and there was a hook coming in there, and the referee says that's fine, and it ends with Antrim negating Down in there, and that's good work by their defence in there. I was worried that for them that Down might just punish them with a goal or a point, and then we might have the game over. But Antrim have done well, and here comes Down. That's great work there by Dervla McGee, and she drives the ball in towards McCartan, and Devlin is there, but McCartan does well. Devlin does well too, and this sort of one of the key confrontations in the game, because McCartan hasn't had as much of an impact in the second half. Shauna Devlin has done very well, so both teams trying to negate each other, and I think they're both succeeding in doing that, because nobody really is on top in this game at the minute, and we even haven't had many scores. But what a brilliant catch there by McCormick, and she immediately transfers it over towards Katrine Dobbin, and Antrim will like to try and get her into the game. She got a goal actually against Antrim in the league game back in May, the only goal they got that day, but she hasn't been doing too much today. But here comes Lucia McNaughton with an effort, and it's just gone to the right and wide, and Antrim giving it everything, but they're not really
transferring it.
You know, they're not really getting through.
No, and that was a super take here by Roisin McCormick, and transferred the ball to the other side of the pitch. But I think Antrim just need to not panic. They took a free in defence there very quickly, and there was no need to take it as quick as they took it.
And there's a big 50-50 high hopeful ball there from Devlin, but again it's given Down, you know, a chance to win it, and they seem to be winning most of those kind of balls, and maybe that is a sign of panic. But Down just have that experience, and they just seem to have a game plan, shall we say, and they all seem to know what they're doing, and they seem to hustle on the ball. But here come Antrim now with a chance, and that's on the left side, but it drops into the goalkeeper's hands rather tamely, and there's a player injured over on the far side, and it's Maeve Kelly now, and two of Antrim's key attackers have been injured in the last 5 minutes or so. We have McCormick down, and now Kelly is down. Both of them made such a tremendous start to the game, but both of them are having their troubles in the last while or so, and Antrim really struggling to get firing in the second half.
It's just a real pity that ball didn't go over the bar, because that would have reduced the gap to 3, would have given Antrim an awful lot of confidence, and it should have gone over the bar from that distance. But for all the play that Down are having, Antrim are still there.
Well, do you feel that Down are just containing it? They're just doing what they need to do and just playing out this game and going through the motion as such, rather than attacking Antrim?
I feel like they're very composed. They're maybe going a wee bit more defensive here just because they're against the wind, and then naturally you kind of do worry about that, and you put a sweeper in place and you do tend to defend more. But they know, I think, now that they still need to finish this game out. It's not over, so they're going to have to start attacking here and making sure they're still getting scores on the board.
Tactically, I'm looking over to the right off camera, and Ciara Laverty is still playing in a sweeper role for Antrim. Would you be tempted at this stage to say, you know what, put her back up full forward, or put her up the pitch a bit? We don't need to be sweeping at this point, or would you be of the mind of thinking, you know, keep your game plan?
Personally speaking, I always think it's very difficult to play around a sweeper. You need to have a very clear strategy, and everybody needs to know what it is. Cara McMullen's playing the role of sweeper very effectively there. They need scores on the board, so they shouldn't be going defensive right now. They've got the wind. If I were Antrim, I would be pushing up on Down and trying to put them under pressure.
Back to the play now. The referee will drop it just right down in front of the stand here in Owenbeg. This is an important one to win. Who's going to get it? His body's flying in there, and it's the Down substitute who gets it. That's number 21, Danielle Harrison. But they run out of room, and it's an Antrim ball, and the crowd have lifted from that, and I think that's because they're right under the play as well.
She's running.
And the ball from McNaughton, she doesn't connect well this time. She has been connecting a lot, but I'm noticing, or Gronya's pointing out something about the way that Antrim are playing. Well, we'll come to that in a second. It's Graffin, and she's outnumbered there, and that's good work by the Antrim players in there, and it's their number 11, Anna Connolly, and she's coming away with the ball. That's great play by her, and she's trying to find Dobbin. Caldwell is there as well, and Caldwell does well again, and Down not happy with that challenge, but in the end it's a free to Antrim. There may have been a foul by the Antrim player first, but they've got the free.
Yep. It's a nice free from a scoreable position on the 21 here for Nicole O'Neill.
You were noticing something off the ball up here before that?
I just felt like Antrim were trying to push up. They had moved the sweeper out, and they were trying to get the sweeper free from the sideline ball, and maybe they are noticing that they need to get their players up into the 6 forward positions to get scores on the board.
An important free here. You would expect it to go over from there. It does go over from there. We're back to a 3-point game. It's 2-7 to 10. 3 points in the game. And Nicole O'Neill, of course it was, with the point. Brilliantly run there by Amy Boyle from the puck out, and she reached over and knocked it down for herself, but they're struggling to get the ball up, and it's Niamh Mallon in there, and she's trying to get it. She's been bundled out of the way, and here comes Connolly again, and Connolly's doing well in the last few minutes. She's getting stuck in, but it's the red and black here or there. No, it's not. It's Nicole O'Neill, and she feeds it back, and the number 2, Katie McKillop, with a monster effort from distance. It goes well wide, but Antrim certainly not giving up, and as you said, Grania, the defenders are coming up to make an impact, and Katie really came forward there with a bit of drive.
Yeah, I think Antrim are going to take a lot of heart now since the last water break there. They're pushing up and they're putting them under pressure.
So, just 3 in it. And Antrim do like a late show. Oh, brilliant hook there by Connolly. But at the other number 11, Graffin speeds away at the other end of the pitch, and there's room for her. There could even be a goal chance. She goes on her right. She goes for a score, but she puts it wide. And that again has lifted the Antrim support in the crowd here. I'm saying, Grania, about Antrim's late shows. I mean, they have liked it the last few weeks, and like last week, in injury time, they were a point down, and there must have been 40 seconds left. They scored 2 points in the last 40 or 60 seconds to win the game deep into injury time. So they'll keep going. There's no doubt about that. Shauna Devlin now, she gets a bit of a connection on that and manages to get it to McNaughton, and McNaughton now plays it into Dobbin. And Dobbin now has Caldwell there as usual, but she got it on her left side, and Caldwell does well to get a bit of a stick to it, but it's Roisin McCormick. Oh, here comes McCormick. She goes low. Oh, it hits the net. What a score by McCormick. It's level. What excitement here in Owen Big. It's fantastic to have a crowd back. Not only are they making noise, you saw them all rise to their feet there. Antrim have levelled this dramatically towards the end of this game. It's 2-7 to 110. Brilliant goal.
An unbelievable piece of individual skill, taking it off her stick and then low into the bottom corner.
Game on. They've come back from 6 points down, Antrim, and I was saying about their late shows, and they're doing it again. They are not giving up. Brilliant play, and they're now putting it up to Down, and we'll see what Down are made of in the last few minutes. Antrim win it again.
And Nicole O'Neill is running quite confidently over there because she has the wind in her back, and if she gets this score, then it'll be the first time Antrim have maybe gone ahead since the opening.
The second goal, maybe.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they look like a team, as I said, in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, who were struggling to really get back into this game, but boy, they are back into the game now. Nicole O'Neill. She hits it wide, so it remains level. 55 minutes gone, 5 minutes to go. I wouldn't mind extra time. This is tremendous stuff. Now Catherine McGordy, the goalkeeper for Down, the Kilbarra. She plays it into the middle of the field, and Antrim's tails are up and Down have to respond. And there's Harrison responding. And she gets it out to Beth Fitzpatrick. She responds as well. Down are all Ireland intermediate champions. And that's great play there by Lucia McNaughton, the captain of Antrim, blocking Down as well, and she's won it again. This is fantastic play, and I was saying at the start of the game that Antrim, is this the day that they will come of age? And maybe it is indeed. Number 14, Kira Laverty, she's been the sweeper, but she's moved up now. Oh, lovely play by McCormick. 2 players around her, but she gets it to Laverty, and Laverty gets it to McNaughton. Oh, and she just drops it at the vital moment. You hear the groan from the crowd just below us. Down are in there trying to cut out the danger, but they just can't. Laverty is there. She's blocked down. Oh, and it's Connolly this time. Antrim are knocking on the door, and Down keep closing it. It is such an intriguing end of the game. Oh, what a catch. Brilliant there by Sarah Louise Graffin. And it's Niamh Mallon at the other end. And can Down get a goal at the other end? Oh, surely it is. It's a brilliant goal. Down have responded like the champions that they are. What a response from Down. 3-7 to 110 with just 4 minutes to go in this Littlewoods National League Division 2 final. Brilliantly created and finished.
I mean, Down were just soaking up Antrim wave after wave of attack, and eventually they broke free in the counter attack. Sarah Louise made a fantastic catch, and she popped the pass off to Niamh Mallon just at the perfect time. Brilliant goal.
Who was it finishing actually? Because I saw Graffin was in there, Mallon was in there. I'm not actually sure who finished it.
Was it Anna Rogan? I think it might have been Rogan.
Yeah. Crucial score there, and what a response from Down as we go into the closing stages of this absolute thriller in Owenbeg. Oh, that's brilliant play again by Nisha McKenna. Brilliant. Oh no, that's actually Deborah Savage, sorry, I was looking at the number 7 for Antrim. It was the number 7 for Down playing brilliantly. That's Savage. Here come Antrim again, Amy Boyle. Oh, she's nipping through the traffic, she's ducking and diving in there, but Down managed to get it out of there, out of the danger area. The crowd loving this. I hope you're loving it on the live stream as well. Here's McCormick on her right side. She drills it over the bar. Another brilliant score. What a day for Ulster Camogie. Brilliant scores at both ends. McCormick's been fantastic. We're back to a 2-point game, and it's still in the melting pot.
And a 2-point lead is not a nice lead to have. So Down will be living on their nerves now in the last few minutes, and Antrim will hopefully take momentum from that and see what happens.
Antrim are absolutely piling on the pressure, aren't they? The ball
Brilliant.
dropping right down below us. Oh, and an Antrim player got a bang there. That was Devlin. And I think you might see there the fourth official putting up a sign for 3 minutes. So it's 3 extra minutes. 59 minutes we make it. So we've at least 3 more minutes to go. 2 points in it. 3-7 to 1-1. Lucia McNaughton takes all of these. Oh, she gets a great connection on that cut, and it goes out into the middle of the field, but who's going to win it? It's spilled. It comes to Connolly. Anna Connolly from Lockhill. She speeds off. Oh, and she gets intercepted in there, and that's great work from Down, but no sooner is it cleared by Lauren Clark than Antrim get it at the other end, but I think it's going to be a Down ball, and it is indeed a Down ball, and Saoirse McCartan is onto it. Down have the lead. And I see down in front of us here, one of the Down mentors is it Marty Mallon, and he's saying just calm down, no need to rush it here, we're in injury time, we're ahead by 2 points. So McCartan on her left side drives it sensibly low and drives it into the right corner, gets it well up the field, and Rogan is there, Graffin is there. Could there be another score at the end of this game for Down? No, it's just gone to the right, I think, and wide. She's claiming a deflection, but the umpire says wide. The referee says no, put your hand up. It is 45. A Down ball.
Yeah, must have got a block, yeah. It would have been very uncharacteristic for Sarah Louise to miss from there, so there was obviously a block.
So you'd imagine Niamh Mallon will put this over and make it a 3-point game, and then it's all hands to the pump for Antrim. They need to get up and get a goal at the other end.
And to be fair to Antrim, they have been pushing up. The sideline gave Down a chance to get their players up, but it had been all Antrim.
So 2 points in it, and Niamh Mallon going to make it 3. 3-8 plays 1-11. Down lead by a goal, and Antrim will frantically try to get this ball quickly up the pitch and get a goal at the other end. Roisin McCormick scored a cracker about 5 minutes or so ago. They need another one, another bit of magic from her or one of the other forwards, but it's broken for Down. They're running down the clock. They don't need to go forward, but McCartan only knows one way to play, and that is forward, but she's surrounded in there. Great pressure. The referee has a whistle on his mouth, but he's letting it go. Now he gives it to Antrim. Brilliant work by Antrim. Katie McKillop. It really is never say die from Antrim, and McKillop is going to leave it for O'Neill, and the Down players all filtering back. They know they need to get in around the house and protect the goal area, because Nicole O'Neill will drive this right in there. The girl from Dunloy, wearing number 12, knows the time is nearly up. She doesn't need a point, she needs a goal, so she drives it into the danger area. Can Antrim get a stick on this? Who's going to get there first? It's the black and red coming out with it through Dervla McGee, the fullback. Great work by her, but it's not cleared just yet. The substitute is in there, Danielle Harrison. Who's going to get there first? Oh, that's brilliant work. Way over on the far side and kick clear as well, but the referee has spotted an infringement. What was that for, Grania?
I'm not entirely sure. Is it because the stick was dropped? Was he saying that Niamh dropped the stick on purpose? You're not allowed to do that anymore, of course.
That makes sense, yeah. And Nicole O'Neill is going to have another chance to drop it in there. Could we yet have more drama right at the end? We make it 63 minutes played. Somebody I think needs treatment in there. Is it McGee?
Yeah, I can't
in there?
see.
Yeah, Dervla McGee just putting her helmet back on. Treatment is on the way, but I'm not sure she's going to need it.
And Down have the height there now under a dropping ball, you know, to block it down or catch it. But once it drops into the square and people are swinging on it, a ball can go anywhere, so it could easily end up in the back of the net here.
Antrim love a late show. They've done that recently. Can they do it again? The ball has come in from O'Neill, but it's over to the right-hand side, and there's 3 or 4 players going for it on the end line. This will suit Down. The referee is keeping an eye on it. What's he going to do? Down are claiming that it was wide. I think he's claiming it's a Antrim ball. He's going to bring it out for Antrim.
Is he pulling it out to throw it in? I think he might be pulling it out to throw between 2 players. It wasn't going anywhere.
He's going to throw it in. He wasn't sure. So here we go. Surely this is the last throw of the dice. The ball is in there. Antrim need to win it. They have won it. It's blocked Down. They need to get it into the danger area. They can't, and Down have held out, and Down have become the 2021 Littlewoods National League Division 2 champions. And it came after an absolute thriller of a game, an exhibition of Ulster Camogie, a really enjoyable game. They deserved it in the end. The Antrim players are on their knees. They gave everything, but in the end, it was Down's experience and know-how and ability that pulled them clear after Antrim came back at them right at the end with a fabulous goal.
Player of the match on today's night, Tim McCartan. Player of the match number 12 for Down, Saoirse McCartan.
Well, I'm sure you heard that, the player of the match given to Saoirse McCartan. I was going to ask you, Grania, who yours was or who your contenders are.
I mean, I feel like Antrim have an awful lot of contenders there. You know, the work rate of Lucia McNaughton and Amy Boyle are out around the middle of the field. Anna Conley came into the game there in the second half, and then you couldn't look past Roisin McCormick with some of the touches and scores and finishes that she got. From a Down perspective, Saoirse McCartan had an absolutely super first half, but she wasn't in the game as much in the second half. Niamh Mallon stepped up and you saw her leadership coming in there. Karen McMullen as a sweeper was very good and actually intercepted and made quite a few clearances there for Down in the second half. So it's a difficult one to call.
It is, and I even liked you know, some of the Down players who maybe weren't as spectacular, shall we say, like Caldwell, Katrina Caldwell at number 4. She did a great job, and Katrine Dobbin, who would have been a big threat for Antrim as well. So you know, they got their matchups right, and they had stars all over the pitch. But you're right, it's a very tough one to call because some players played well for a while. I mean, Lucia McNaughton I thought was brilliant as well.
Super.
For Antrim. She put in such a shift as well, and Shauna Devlin did really well when she came on. Amy Boyle was driving through. I mean, Niamh Kelly and Roisin McCormick started on fire in the first half, so there wasn't maybe one player who was outstanding over the hour, but you know, you can't really expect them to be either. But in the end, Saoirse McCartan has been given the player of the match from here. You don't have to agree with that, but you can if you want.
If you'd asked me at half time, it was a no-brainer. It was definitely Saoirse McCartan. I suppose on balance throughout the game, would you give it to Saoirse McCartan?
Even for her goal.
Her goal was spectacular.
Screamer.
It was. Her goal was spectacular, but Roisin McCormick's goal was equally impressive, and then the composure that Niamh had in the first half as well for her goal was great. So some of the scores that we've seen out here today have just been phenomenal.
Now, if this is your new punditry career, you can't be sitting on the fence. These are the hard decisions you have to make now. You have to pick one. Do you agree with Saoirse, or are you going with Roisin, or are you going with Niamh?
I feel like Roisin McCormick was fantastic. Do you give it to a player on the losing team? You can
of course,
sometimes,
yeah.
what are you going with? Who are you going for?
It's
I'll
not my
ask you
call.
first.
No, I get you to answer those hard questions. But look, it's okay. She's getting the award here. There is an award and there is a cup, and it will be presented by the Camogie president, Hilda Breslin, who is certainly covering the country this weekend with all the finals. She has made it all the way here from Kildare via Cavan somewhere, I think, as well. So she is here, and she will be presenting the cup, or at least that's the plan. Yeah, she is here, and she is in the presentation area, and the players are coming over, and I see Sarah Louise Graffin down there. Still have the habit of calling her Car.
Oh, same, don't worry.
But she's the captain for Down, and she is coming up now, and the girl from Clonduff will collect the trophy, and a proud moment this will be for the Mourne County, and overall you'd have to say they deserved it, would you?
They did. You know, if you look at all the wides that they hit in the first half and the opportunities they had, they should have probably gone in further ahead at half time. They weathered the Antrim storm there in the second half, and on the counter attack got a great goal. So overall their experience, I suppose, stood to them.
I'm imagining there'll be a few speeches here, and the PA system is quite loud, so you'll probably be able to pick it up on the live stream exactly what they're saying, and you'll be able to see the presentation as well. So we're just waiting for the presentation to be made, and the Camogie president, Hilda Breslin, will probably do the Player of the Match award first, and then bring the captain in for the presentation. But I know it sounds a bit of a cliche, Grania, but Ulster Camogie is the winner today.
Yeah, it was an absolutely brilliant game, end to end, some super scores, super tackles.
Thanks everybody, sorry.
Okay, that's Hilda now.
Great, thanks everybody, we won't keep you long, I know you probably want to go and celebrate. So firstly, I just want to take a moment to say a huge thank you to Littlewoods, our sponsors of the National League. They've been outstanding for the last 5 years in pushing women's sport forward. So we're really thrilled that they're going to continue sponsoring us. So a big thanks to Littlewoods. A huge thanks to Derry GAA for the use of the facilities here. It's brilliant that we could hold the game here and that we could have 500 in attendance. So that's great to see. Also, thanks to Derry Camogie for all of their assistance today. I don't think anybody coming here today thought this match was going to be an easy match. We always knew that Antrim and Down was going to be a quality match this weekend, and once again you've proved that. It was a brilliant performance from all of you, and congratulations on the performance this weekend. There's absolutely very little between you, and I think it was nip and tuck the whole way through. And I suppose maybe at the end of the day the luck just went with Down, but to Antrim, you were outstanding, so well done, really well done. So this is my first cup to give as Uachtaráin, and it really gives me a huge pleasure to give it to an Ulster team and to give it to Down. You've been an outstanding Ulster team for the last few years. It'll be lovely to see you in the Senior Championship this year and to drive on next year in Division 1, so congratulations, girls.
Just want to say thanks very much to the officials for today's game, and everybody in Derry GAA on beg to get the pitch ready for the facilities. Are fantastic. To Antrim, well done girls. It's been plenty of times that I've been standing down there as well. So, you know, it gives testament that the two teams that contested the Division 2 today were the finalists in last year's Intermediate Championship. So we've every right to be where we are and to push on and to mix it with the Division 1 teams. Keep it going, girls. And I know that in the intermediate, you give it a good rattle again this year, so all the best. Just for our own girls, we never really make it easy for ourselves, but sure, we just make it a wee bit exciting maybe. Well done. Our hard work has been unbelievable over the last couple of weeks.
on the right of the group, the girl second from the right, because you can go on her for a minute, it's Catherine McGordy I was talking about.
Thanks again. It's brilliant to see everybody out playing and supporting games again. Thanks very much for making the journey up here today, and I'm glad we made it a worthwhile one. So thank you.
And the players, the Down players, seem to be wanting Sarah to come down for a photograph in the right side of the road, the sunny part of the pitch, but she is taking the cup. Where's she going with the cup? Actually, it was interesting, last year they won the cup. They weren't allowed to take the cup last year because of COVID, and the cup has been brought up. Now there are 2 cups, and there is Sarah Louise Graffin with the cup, bringing it down to the players and getting her photograph taken actually before she goes to the players. And a great moment for her and family and everyone in Clonduff and Hilltown. Now she runs over to bring the cup to the players. Great moment for Down, Littlewoods National League Division 2 champions, and they really are on a roll.
What a celebratory song.
I'm trying to work out what it says, but I'm hoping it's something that you can say on air. What
They're singing, don't you know, pump it up.
Oh, is that what it is? I wasn't sure what they were saying. How would you sum it up?
Absolutely fantastic game of Camogie. So much skill on display there. Ulster Camogie is going places. Down, I suppose, have been the kingpins of Ulster Camogie now for the last 2 or 3 years, so deservedly so. They're now up into Division 1, and it's great for Ulster to have Division 1 status for one team, and hopefully in the future maybe 2 or 3 teams. I know that Antrim will want to get there, Derry certainly want to be up there. So it was a great game, and I would say there's definitely scores there today that any hurler would be proud of. Saoirse McCartan's goal was phenomenal. What a finish. And same with Antrim, some of the Antrim scores were cracking, so it was a great game, really enjoyable to watch.
There was also a Saoirse McCartan score that you picked out where she hit it and she was falling as she hit it and hit it on one movement as she sort of spun around as well. I mean, and at the other end, the likes of Maeve Kelly and Roisin McCormick, I mean, it really was fantastic.
Yeah, and even the comeback for Nicole O'Neill, she kind of got a point out here in the sideline in the second half for Antrim, which spurred them on. And yeah, some super scores from both teams today from play.
Gráinne McGoldrick, it's been a pleasure to have you here. It's been great fun, and it's been great to bring this game on a live stream. We're now going to end the live stream, and I'm going to go down and get some interviews and put them up on social media later on. I really can't wait to go down and talk to all these players. I'm thinking Catherine McGordy, need to have a word with her. Saoirse McCartan, need to have a word with her. And anyone else who's out there as well, because I want to hear what they think about this, and celebrate this super day for Ulster Camogie. So we're going to end the live stream now, but watch out on social media later for all the interviews as well from Owen Begg this afternoon on our live stream. It's goodbye.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
All the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression. We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.